All right, welcome back. American Roulette, 21 numbers in 12 minutes. Number 233. From 24. I got the sticks pointing, 24, and directly across the wheels, 23. So I've been chasing some 90-degree numbers. I've been chasing straight across the wheel numbers. And what I'm going to try to do here, I don't know if I can, but is it better to hit, that number is 20. All right, let's just stop right now. So I rolled 24, 23. I rolled from 24, approximately there. Now, 8 and 12 and 7 and 11 are 90-degree numbers from 24, 23. All right? Just like my last video, I've been chasing numbers, 90-degree numbers, straight across the wheel. Well, the 90s is what I'm looking for. 7, 11, 8, and 12. They're all in the first dozen. Let me get that. First number is 20. I'm just going to see 24. How many, if I roll from 23/24 back and forth, how many numbers will I get in the first dozen? If I get any at all. I'm sure I'm going to hit some of them, but it's not going to be... Oh, okay. That number is 20 again. Now, from 23, always bet on the last number. What I'm chasing here is, if you got a number blinking on the marquee up there, would you not bet on first and third and just hang out on the first dozen? Well, look, okay, I got 11 after 20. That's just great. Oh, 11 after 20. Here comes 20. There went 24. Here comes 23. 11 is that number. Look at that. An old address. Okay, first dozen. Or, like, say, from 11, do you not play the first and third dozen and concentrate on the second dozen? Okay. 5. It's not going to work all the time. You know that. It's roulette. Me rolling from the same spot is might mess up your system. But we'll see. Oh, look. Okay. Third dozen. 35. You know what? 5 and 35 have been coming out before and after each other a lot. The number 35. Follow the winner. Is that what you're playing? Follow the winner. So you expect a third dozen to come out now? Well, it doesn't. But I'm not saying that's always going to happen. That number was 12. Just made it in the first dozen. I don't play this way. I don't play the outside. I don't play dozen. I don't play black and red. I like playing the numbers. It's probably not. That number is 16. That one was from 23. And then, well, I never look to see. When I'm done 51 numbers, I'll take a picture of it, on my phone. I never look back and see, oh, look, I only got 3 first dozens. Oh, look, see, now that'll blow a hole when you're after 16. Oh. Double zeros after 16. Trigger warning. I never go back to look at my picture and try to count up how many first dozens or second or thirds which hit most, meaning to me that I would just hang out on the second dozen. 20. Yeah. Look at this. Is 20 a hot spot today, or is it just me? I'm almost out of 20s already. Let's go. Let's get a first dozen. Maybe? Nope. 14 is that number. 14. There's your first 10 numbers. And the way I see it, only 3 of them are in the first dozen. Is that good enough? I don't think so. What comes out after 7? Comes out after 14. That's a first dozen. How about a 2? I'll take a 2. 2 is that number. All right. I don't know if this is going to help anybody out there, but I'm going for it. What comes out after 2? Oh, definitely a 4. There's 4. Go back. Yeah, definitely a 4. After 2, there's a 4. Just like I said a second ago. So 8. Back to 2. Or this 7. Get it. They're next to each other on the layout. 4, 7. There went 7. There. Oh. That number is 30. Third dozen. 30. All right. It bounced. It was heading the right direction. 30. So, well, the 3s, 3, 13. Well, only the 3 is in the first dozen. 15's in the second dozen. 33. 20. Oh, almost back to itself. That number is 26. 26. Let's wait for 23 to come around. 26. 16, 26. Should have my cards ready to go. Let me look here. 26, 36, and 18 is the old system. No, 21 is that number. 21. I got to keep this ball spinning, or else it's going to take 35 minutes. 26. Well, 90-degree numbers don't land anywhere near the first dozen anyway. So after 26, I would say don't bet on the first dozen. I don't know. And that came true. Oh, look. Double zeros. So 90-degree numbers. Well, I just so happen to be able to reach this one right here. These are my 90-degree numbers. And these are my old system numbers. It hits 29. 1, 2, 3 of them are only in the first dozen. That's not going to happen anymore. I can't be playing with all these cards. 29 is that number. 29. 29. Let's wait for 24. And there it goes. 29. When I had that. 29 is 14 and 5. Old system. 29 90-degree numbers are 3, 4, 4, 16, 3, 15, and 14 and 5. If there was ever going to be a first dozen, it would be now. Oh, look at this. Almost at 0. That number is 2. 2. All right, so I'm getting the hang of it now. Old system is 34 and 12. 1 first dozen. 2, 18 and 31, and 17 and 32. So, well, look here. Am I gonna 14? No, 14. Not in the first dozen. All right, so 13, 14, 90-degree numbers are 19, 31, 20 and 32, 14. So 22 and 29, none of those are in the first dozen. Do I choose the... Okay, 27 is that number. 27. Let's keep going. 4 and 20 is the old system. So there's a first dozen there. And I'm looking at my chart. Okay, 27, 28. 90-degree numbers are 6 and 21 and 5 and 22. So that's, we're going to call it first dozen, second dozen. Oh, that's the third. See, so I even said it's not going to be foolproof. 29. Nothing's foolproof. Especially when this thing's involved. 90-degree numbers. 4 and 16, 3 and 15. 29 is 14 and 5. So, from 29, I'm calling for 3 first dozen numbers. And I get a first dozen number. How about that? That number was 3. I can't get to gloat when it hits. You know, because it's, or there's no, oh, look, I knew that was going to happen. I hate them guys. Hey, I knew that was happening. Yeah, no. 3 is 12 and 29, 11 and 30. 3 is 21 and 30. Okay, right next to that 3. Almost back to itself. That number is 24. I knew that was going to land. That's why I had money on it. Yeah, meanwhile, he's covered the whole board with chips. Yeah. Them guys. 90-degree numbers for the number 24. 7, 11, 8, and 12. 90s. Okay, now a 9 and 18. Maybe? Oh, 17 is that number. Second dozen. 17 is that number. Uh, 25 and 23 is the old system. Second and third dozen. From 17, 90-degree numbers are 0s and 1 and 0 and 2. Probably going to be a green. No? Oh boy, no. I would bet on, I bet on green anyway. 35 is that number. 35. This is just another way to look at your wheel. You got some time. Look at it. See what it's. Okay, 35. 90-degree numbers is 7 and 20, 8 and 19, and 5 and 25. Oh. Well, there it goes. Yeah. Blows a hole right in your 0. Oh, look. Green. Really. Green jumping. There you go. That's a jumper. Didn't even see it. Wasn't even looking. From 0s. 90-degree numbers are 5 and 17, 6 and 18. So, and then 7 and 8. Bunch of first dozen numbers. And I get a 22 is not a first dozen. That's a second dozen. 22. $90 number for the number 22, or 9 and 10, or I'm sorry, 9 and 28, 10 and 27. And the old system is 12 and 14. So I got 3 numbers in the first dozen. And I get a second dozen. Because of course, 18 is that number. 18. 18 is 1 and double zeros and 1, double zeros and 1, 0 and 2. The old system is 26 and 24. So 18, I'd cover green. It's a trigger of mine, but I get a 16. Okay. Well, 16 it is. So how do we get this square peg in this round hole here? Do we cover 16? All right, from 16, there's none in the first dozen. None. Do I get a first dozen right now? No, I don't. That was close, though. That number is 19. Let's wait for 24. There we go, 24. That number is 19, after 16. One of the reasons why I like just playing the numbers. 19, 14, and 35 over there. 13 and 36 here. 19 is 25 and 15. There's no number that I'm looking for in the first dozen. But I get an 11. Yeah, see? Oh, right next to that 7, so... 11. All right. Which of the 3 dozens come out more often? 11, 3, 24, 4, 23, and 1 and 21. I'm calling for 3 numbers in the first dozen. Look at this, and I get a 5. All right. 5. So they just go in pairs, right? 2, 4, 11 and 5, 11 and 5, 11 and 5, and 11 and 5. That's great. Zeros and 27, zeros and 28, 29 and 35. None in the first dozen. And it's a 35. And it did it again. 35. Okay, so here's the trick. Wow. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. 11, 5, 35. 11, 5, 35. Oh, gee, that number's 4. Okay. Did I call for it? Yeah, I got 2. I got 7, 20, 8, and 19. And the 35 is 5. So I'm calling for 4 numbers in the first dozen, and I get a 4. All right. 4. I don't know, but this and this. Now, I'm going to tell you, I rolled from 23 and then from 24. Oh, look, I get a 0. Okay, well. I get a 0. What was it from 4 anyway? 11, 12 and 29, 11 and 30, and 12. So just in my little circle of numbers here, I wanted 3 of them in the first dozen. But I get a 0. Do I get another 0? Look. Come on. Nope. That number's 24. So back to this. I know I didn't roll from the same 23 on every one of them. 11, 5, 35. 11, 5, 35. Now, if these were up here, that would have been 3 jumpers in a row. 24. Oh, let's pay attention here. 7, 8. Oh, 90-degree numbers. 8. Yeah, 8, 12. This is what we're. This is how this is brought along. This is why we're here. 24. I rolled from 24. Right? 24, 23. 8, 12, 7, 11. And I got an 8 after 24. Called for it. First dozen. Okay. It happens. Don't get excited. All right, so from 8 on the 90-degree numbers, there's none of them. 24, 36, 23, 35. What do I want from 8? 0 and 34 is the old system. So, am I going to get a green? No. No, I'm going to get a 9. First dozen. 9. 9. And evidently, I can only get first dozens in groups of 2. Well, that's not one. That's not one either. What comes out after 9? I don't know. Not in the 90 degrees. 22, 34, 21, 33. And 9, the old system, is 24 and 31. So I'm not calling for any of them, and I get a 19. Second dozen. 19. After 9. Of course it is. I like 20 after 19. 19 is 14 and 30. 90-degree numbers are 14, 35, and 13, 36. 19 is 15 and 28. So, majority of my numbers aren't calling for a, well, there you go, 36. Did not call for a first dozen number. Are you good or are you lucky? All right, from 36, 90-degree numbers, 7, 20, 8, and 19, and 6 and 26 is the old system. 13 that way, 13 that way. So I would call 16. I would call for a first dozen number, but I did not get it. It's the number 16. All right. After 36. Sure it is. $16. Did it once over here. Am I going to get a 0? 16 is, well, the 90-degree numbers are 25, 29, 26, and 30. And 20 and 0, 0, the old system. So no first dozen. And I get something from the, oh, it jumped. Second dozen. 20. Don't. 90-degree numbers from 20. 14, 35, 13, 36. That was 90-degree numbers. The old system is 27 and 16. Nothing in the first dozen. And I get another 20. Look at. 20 it is. I'm out of 20s. That's going to suck. 20. Got to get my Sharpay out. Let's get it. Oh, let's get to 16. Get it. 16. Not going to be 16. It's going to be 8. A first dozen. 8. So from 20, I was looking for nothing there in the 90s and nothing in the old system. I wouldn't have covered it, but I got it. So 8, 90 degree numbers, 24, 36, 23, 35. And the old system is 0 and 34. There went 34, and I got a 0. 8 calls for a single 0, but I covered both of them, and that just jumped. Double 0. Double 0. There you go. The old system, after double zeros, is 16 and 7. 16 and 7. The 90 degree numbers are 5 and 17, 8 and 6 and 18. So there's 3 in the first dozen, and I get the number 4. Lucky, I guess. 4. The 90 degree numbers, here we go. 12 and 29 over there, 11 and 30 over here. And my old system is 32 and 27. So there's nothing in the old system that points to first dozen, but I got 2 of them. Yeah, 16 and it jumped. 16 and it jumped. Uh-oh. Yeah. 16 and it jumped. 16, am I going to get it? Am I going to get it? Just get the card. Why don't you? If I can get 11, 5, 35 there and 11, 5, 35 there, I can get a double 0 right now. No, I can't. Oh, it's going to be a 2. 2. All right, so from 16, I was looking for, well, 90 degree numbers are 25, 29, 26, and 30. Over here on the old system is 20 and 0 zeros. None of them, no numbers in these 2 systems pointed to a first dozen. What's it going to not be another 20? How about a 17? Okay, well, that's in the second dozen. 17. Wow, look at all these numbers jumping. 2, 16, zeros, zeros. What do we got? What do we got? 20. 17, what am I looking for? Old system. 1 and 2 zeros, and both zeros. At 25 and 23. Oh, and I get a 1. Okay. Another first dozen. 1. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Shoot me off a comment if you want. I need your help. I need you to push that thumbs up button. It helps, supposed to help me in the algorithm. Whatever that means. So from 1, I'm not calling for any in the first. Wait, I got 1 number, the 11. 11 after 1. Oh, and I got a 26, and it's not in the first dozen. That is in the third dozen. So try to make sense out of this. I dare you. Good luck. Keep your eye on that ball. Watch your bankroll. Until next time.